Check, 1, 2, check.
Nice weather.
Yeah.
Nice spot, eh? You like
Beautiful
this?
spot.
This is where we could maybe do a couple over the summer.
Yeah. Beautiful little spot.
We'll tell them where we are once we're casting.
In the woods.
Right, in our own private gazebo in the middle of the forest.
Nice and quiet.
Good. So you got some stuff today?
Do I ever have anything?
Well, we weren't even sure we were doing it.
No, but I had brought the...
Yeah. I got a few things. Anyway. You got me going over coffee, and then we thought we got to share this. So
yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
The only drawback of this spot might be the mosquitoes.
There are a couple.
Yeah.
If you hear
that's us.
That's
killing
us.
Mosquitoes.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Warning. This podcast will be an injurious waste of your time. Warning. This podcast will be an injurious waste of your time.
Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please. All right, DDT.
Duff.
Thanks for the stickers.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the coffee.
You're welcome.
Yeah. JB
isn't with us today.
JB is not here.
Sorry, JB.
No JB.
He's back to the old JB where we fall after the cottage and his in-laws on the priority list.
Yeah, exactly. I fall after the cutting board.
Oh, the cutting board, the sanding board, the cutting board, cutting the grass, putting the rink away.
Yeah. We're way down.
Yeah.
Way down on
bagging leaves.
Priority list. We didn't do one last weekend, podcast.
No, he probably had to take his daughter to work.
No, but that was my fault.
Oh, it was all of us, yeah.
It wasn't. It's just one of those weekends.
One of those weekends. But we're back.
Back, just the two of us. The original.
This is the original setup.
The original.
Where we used to allude to JB, but never actually see him. Yeah. Like the snuffleupagus of the podcast. So we've got to tell the listener where we are. And I'll continue to tweet out. I've been bad on my tweets with the CCC account.
Yeah.
But we're in a gazebo in the middle of the forest. We had our coffee this morning. We weren't even maybe going to do a podcast. And then we thought, let's do one because you fired me all up on my recent trip to the States. And the good listener has to hear about it.
Yeah. And I said I brought the computer.
Yeah. And I was totally surprised. So I'm like, okay. So we were almost going to do it at McDoe's. But it was freaking sweltering.
It was, and it was loud by the road there.
Loud by Robertson Road.
Yeah.
So I said, too loud. So I have a spot. And here we are.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the Ottawa Greenbelt Trails, we're on the Sarsaparilla Trail. A little spot I used to take my kids when they were tiny.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a big hiker, and this is actually a 400-meter trail.
I tried to bike through here one time and
couldn't do 400 meters, eh?
Well, no, I was like, I don't know if it's going to get back, if I'm going to get back to where I want to go, because I wanted to go.
You wanted to get out of here.
I was going to take a shortcut.
I gotcha.
Up to the other trail.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it meets.
We're landlocked in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's landlocked.
So I got out the old map,
Yeah.
Google Maps, and I was looking at it, and it was like, I better turn back.
But what sucks is they keep teasing us. They are proposing joining this up with the other collection of trails, but they've been saying that for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And the NCC, well, geez, they're not
they
exactly...
They finally made a decision on something.
They're not exactly,
on the Sens thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sharp transition, but a nice one.
Yeah.
So what do you think instigated that?
I have no clue.
Like, for years and years, there's all this talk, and then it took forever. Like, didn't they already award contracts and stuff for that years ago?
No, once the whole thing last time fell apart between the Sens and the other group.
But
they went back to the drawing board.
It didn't fall apart. They just didn't actually get selected, I thought.
No, they got selected. But then they started suing each other, right?
Right, that fiasco. Yeah. What a joke.
So I don't know where that is. But they started suing each other.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing fell apart, and the NCC just said, "Okay, we're going to go back." But I think they decided to piecemeal it instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Rather than develop the whole thing.
I don't care how they do it. Why are we waiting?
Yeah. Well, this part that they awarded to the Sens recently is. So
did they give the Sens the library or the hockey rink?
Hockey rink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Imagine they piecemeal it and they say, "Hey, you guys got the library."
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna give the rink to the
library. You guys.
Oh God. So yeah, anyways, so that came through and I saw some feeds and I commented something like, great, I'm a hockey fan, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But isn't it sad how any other major city in the world probably was at this point a decade ago?
Yeah.
I left it at that and I said, but I'm remaining hopeful. So,
Yeah.
like I'm just so tired of it all.
Yeah. It's a bit crazy.
Yeah. But then some guy like hammers me, he's like, you don't like Ottawa? Hit the bricks, bro. Like, hit the bricks. So I'm like, I think I said, bro. I love this city. I guess my point is, in spite of everything, it's still a great city. But our government and the decisions that happen around here take way too long, and we miss out.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. I mean, even the LRT thing, right? We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this whole developing LeBreton Flats, which has sort of been an eyesore.
Been going on for decades.
Exactly. And it's a great location.
Perfect.
You know? Right on the LRT and stuff. So
like with real leadership and people that could actually get along with each other and you know, work together.
Yeah.
Right? We might have had, imagine, like there's no reason we couldn't have, so that picture they keep showing, we could have that right now.
Yeah.
If the right people could have made it work.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Fact is, the right people just couldn't work together, and we've all missed out.
Yeah. Now there's people complaining, saying, "Oh, I don't see any parking in here," and stuff like that. Like you're gonna have people complain about everything.
So at this point, you push forward like that crap. We don't even need to hear about. Of course, it's not going to be perfect.
No,
whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've been to other arenas that are downtown. Look at
Montreal and
Toronto.
Both perfect examples.
I've been to Edmonton.
Yes.
Like, come on, like it's right downtown. There's no parking.
So right now in Ottawa, you go to the game, to a hockey game at CTC. You have a nice selection of used car dealerships and cornfields to explore before the game.
Yeah.
And then after the game, you've got Bert's Bar, or a 45-minute to an hour and a half wait in your car to get out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Montreal, Toronto, I've been to both. You don't even notice it.
No.
I went to a Jays game a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And there was other stuff going on around downtown. The game's over. We walked out 2 blocks to a surface parking lot, got in our car, and drove home.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I do remember going to Bell Center in Montreal. Same sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like you come out after the game.
Absolutely.
The best thing is there's a billion places to go. So people actually go eat and drink after the game. And the people that want to go home right away, go home right away. But they're heading in 4 different directions, either in cars or trains. But like it's...
Well, this will be the same, right?
This will be the same.
Like if you need to head south...
20 years later, this will be the same.
Exactly. And if you need to head south, there'll be that train.
Oh, it'll be perfect. Yeah.
If you need to head west, east...
Are you saying the LRT train will be running? Are you guaranteeing that?
I can't guarantee that.
Okay, you just said it'll hop on the train.
The south one.
Oh, okay.
Because, they're fixing all that up now. Right?
You know what they could do? They could have 4 different trains, like a little study. One that runs off diesel or something that actually... That was a mosquito. Like some sort of traditional guaranteed to work train. Yeah. And then they could have some sort of fancy NCC train.
Yes.
That may or may not work.
Yeah. For VIPs.
And then other options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we wrap the podcast up early, it's because we were getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah, fair enough.
As soon as we sat here,
you realize we haven't even talked about one thing we planned on talking about.
Okay, let's do that. Should I apologize?
Yeah.
So I apologize for us not doing the podcast last week.
Yeah.
And I apologize for this podcast. Sort of impromptu.
I apologize for never connecting back to previous stuff. So a couple of our fans cornered me at work in the past week, saying, so what about Nanad? I'm like, what do you mean, what about Nanad? The podcast. You guys you're worried you won't be ready for the big hike.
Yeah.
So here's my answer to that. Okay. I'm not worried anymore because Nanad is a beast. The Croatian sensation should be all set for this hike.
As long as his backpack doesn't weigh 50 pounds.
But at least,
that's the biggest mistake that I'm
100%.
That I'm seeing that all your buddies
last
do.
Time. Yeah.
They want to bring everything but the kitchen sink.
And they try to.
And they try to bring the kitchen sink. Yeah.
So I guess the thing with Nanad, though, is even if he does that, he's such a beast, he might actually pull it off. But he won't. He won't be bringing that much. We'll make sure of that. Yeah. So no, I think he's got all his
Well, he
gear
should
together.
just talk to your other buddies from last year.
Yeah, for sure.
And say,
which he has. We've been chatting it up a bit.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the big trip this past weekend.
Yeah.
So we finally had another final training hike. We booted down to the Adirondacks.
Adirondacks in the U.S.
Lake Placid area, Paul Smith's college area.
Yeah.
And we did a pretty significant hike. We did 20 kilometers over about 8 hours.
Mm.
And the climb was ridiculous. I should really post the elevation profile.
Yeah.
We literally hiked up 1,200 meters.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So imagine hiking up a kilometer.
That's crazy.
I can't even imagine. It was ridiculous. But it was a great test.
Yeah.
But we can't, I keep telling the boys, we can't have one day close to that or the trip will be over.
Yeah.
Because we're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even the marathon runners were dead. Keith said he hurt more after that day yesterday than when he ran the Ottawa Marathon back in May.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, going uphill like that, like terrain-wise too. That's
Mind you, Keith is a glutton for punishment. He threw 20 pounds of extra weight in his pack.
See, that's what I was talking
just
about.
for fun, for training.
Oh,
no,
for fun.
for training.
Oh, okay.
To train with more weight.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
First of all. Yeah. I brought about 17 pounds, which I just happened, like, I brought food, I brought water, and I brought my stove to cook it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, there was nothing extra, though.
Yeah.
But Keith literally threw in 2 10-pound, like, dumbbell weights.
Jesus.
Like, I baffling. Absolutely baffling. But he did it. He was great training.
Yeah.
And I guess the body will remember that, and then think next week nothing will be that hard.
Yeah.
But it was gross, man. Like, I was sweating.
Oh, well, it was hot.
It was hot down there too,
Yeah.
surprisingly. Like, after we were done, and a couple of the boys recorded it through all their gadgets, average temperature was 30 degrees.
Wow.
In the mountains. Wow. That's really hot.
Yeah, if you're in the mountains, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was neat. It was a great hike. Lots of funny stories, especially with the border stuff, which we're going to share.
God. And some disc golf.
Oh, the disc golf. God bless disc golf. That was fun. And it was right on the college of your daughter's alma mater.
Yeah, she's going to Paul Smith's college in the fall. Going there, hopefully to make the hockey team.
Maybe she'll make the disc golf team.
Maybe she'll make
a dual sport
athlete. There you go, yeah.
The disc golf course is ridiculous.
Yeah, and...
now, I didn't tell you this, but we played a competitive game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Keith and Pierre fixed the blind... You know how you play pickup hockey at the rink and all the sticks go in the middle?
Oh, yeah.
You just choo-choo to pick your teams? These clowns did that with the discs.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I saw Pierre open his eye when he did it. And they stuck me with James, who's the worst player. Okay? And then the losers had to buy breakfast. I did everything I could because I'm a good player.
Yeah.
And I had some nice shots, but those two, between the two of them, they had a wicked strategy. One guy would do a safe shot, and then the other guy would just do a crazy shot.
Oh.
And half the time, the crazy shot was really good, and we couldn't compete.
And James was not holding his weight?
James, no.
Yeah.
James would throw it about, 30, 40 centimeters every time. No, he would have... James did okay. James actually saved us on a couple holes to bump the skin to the next hole, but...
Yeah.
Long story short,
you had to
the boys won.
Yeah.
I also thought we were playing 9 holes.
Oh, you ended up playing 18.
And I lost a lot of interest after 9. I was wearing jeans, and it was hot.
You're wearing jeans today, too.
I am. Why? I don't get it.
I don't know.
So anyways, it was really fun. The boys won. So, yeah, we ended up hitting Dunkin' Donuts, one of my favorite spots in Saranac Lake.
Nice.
For a hearty breakfast the next day.
Yeah.
What a menu.
Dunkin'
Things
Donuts.
have changed. Things have changed on there.
They're gourmet now.
As you know, I used to probably hit that area on average, I'd say once a month.
Yeah.
Through the 2010 decade.
Yeah.
Until
we got...
I hear that. What is that?
Bicyclers. It's a kid.
Cool. Yeah. I wonder if they can do the 400-meter loop that you couldn't. Anyhow, so we're at Dunkin' Donuts, and wicked, man. Like, great coffee. The boys had some sort of double egg sandwich on rye with bacon and shit. Yeah. So I'm sure they looked for the most expensive one on the menu.
Of course.
Those two guys.
Obviously.
Yeah. Me and James were like, couple of simple bagels, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
super
cheap.
fun, super fun. So yeah, disc golf. If you're not familiar with it, Podbean skis, just like real golf. You're throwing a disc into a target, and the fewer shots, the better.
Yeah.
And the Paul Smith's course is called the Bark Eater, which is super appropriate.
Yeah.
Because almost on every hole, someone's disc is hitting a tree and like ripping the bark off. Yeah, so 18 holes through the beautiful forest.
It actually looked nice. I mean, you sent a picture.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
Really
fantastic.
nice.
18 holes cut through and like I tell you, it's cut through a forestry research area, I guess.
Yeah.
So they got different plots kind of set up at different times, right? So there's like a 1985, a 1995, and you can see the different trees and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, educational, fun.
Yeah.
I think I was far more interested in that than the boys.
Yeah.
They weren't interested in my
You're-
expertise in silviculture, which is
I have no clue.
the study of trees.
Oh, okay, there you go. What's it called?
Silviculture.
Oh, never heard that term
Yeah,
before.
I know, it's
actually.
very specific. Or you could just say tree scientist.
Yeah,
I
tree
guess.
scientist. Yeah.
So anyways, super fun, great game. Would have been nice if I had a better partner. I think he's going to practice a bit for
Okay,
next time.
there you go.
Because there is a local course in Canada.
Yes.
You've heard us talk about that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure James will be trying to perfect his
Good.
throw because he's so competitive.
Sounds like he needs to.
He does
Yeah.
need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was stop
so PSC,
one.
what's PSC
Yeah.
look like?
So we
Paul
didn't
Smith's College.
So we didn't tour the campus at all, but I do remember touring it for fun a couple times.
Yeah.
It so the disc golf course is funny enough. It's one of the first things you see heading south. That's property of the college.
Oh, okay.
And you keep going a little bit, and then there's the main entrance. And you know what? It looks like they built. It actually looks like they built some new residences.
I think there is one
Hey?
new residence there.
Like
So
like what a place to go to school. I tell
yeah,
you.
so that residence is new.
Mm-hmm.
And I was booking my daughter's residence there, but
Okay.
it's that one has singles. She'd prefer to be
A single. I think a lot.
already
Yeah.
sold out basically.
There you go. Snooze, you
Unfortunately.
lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's going to be interesting. You mentioned earlier, you don't take her for an outdoors person.
No.
Yeah, me
don't.
neither. She's not really that.
But it's gonna be
But
like
it is
full of
gonna-
outdoorsy people.
Yeah, I'm hoping she picked that. One of the reasons about like it was off the radar, and
It's meant to be though. It's a great.
yeah,
great
I came
spot.
across it
Yeah.
as we were doing research into colleges.
Yeah.
On for her recruiting profiles and stuff, and I just looked up colleges in this area near, like it's closer to here, Ottawa, right?
So, you know what? It is. I think it took us 2 hours.
Yeah.
Door to door.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like going to Queens almost.
Yeah, that's it.
Kingston.
And so
Yeah.
there was a few that came up, and that came up,
Yeah.
and it was like looking at the campus, and it was like very small, like less than 1,000
Yeah.
students, I think.
Yeah.
And I showed it to her and all this sort of stuff, and I said, "Look, they play ACHA Division One, blah blah blah. Why don't we reach out to the coach?" And we reached out to the coach, and
Yeah.
he got back. And no, actually, I think he actually reached out to her. Oh, that
Okay.
was it. Yeah,
Right.
I'd seen that, but then
I
he
remember
reached,
that.
Yeah, he reached out to her,
Yeah.
and then I
then
looked
you
up.
were surprised.
Yeah, then I was
Yes.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew right away about Paul Smith's
Yeah,
college.
exactly. That's right. Yeah, he reached out to
Yeah.
her.
The
And
only
then
odd thing, and
Yeah.
I forget, they don't have an actual rink on their campus, but I wonder if they play in Tupper Lake. Did that ever come up?
There's.
They play in Saranac Lake, probably.
Yeah, I forget where they played. I know they're going to play some
And
at
in Lake Placid. Yeah. What a beautiful spot.
But yeah, so that's right. That's how it
Yeah.
came up. The coach contacted her.
Yeah.
We looked up the school, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, look, it's beautiful, right? And it's only 2 hours away."
Man,
It's
I can't
beautiful."
wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I hope she gets in a game, and I'd love to go down.
Yeah. Well, they got a new coach,
Yeah.
which I think I mentioned, and I think it's going to be a tryout, which is the way I would do it because they have a few goalies
Absolutely.
there.
But
So-
if she ends up third or fourth string, I mean, we could always, take all the goalies and their families out for dinner some night, and maybe,
Poison them.
make them try the shrimp. I mean, I don't want to drive all the way down there to see her sit on the bench.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, as a first-year freshman,
Yeah,
As
it's
they call it in the US.
unlikely.
It's unlikely.
Yeah, yeah,
but
but
if
possible.
possible.
Yeah,
If she trained, the problem is that she doesn't like training.
yeah.
Like she's so upset
You
because
better
she,
hope the coach of PSC doesn't listen to this. So I'm going to hashtag the crap out of this episode, right? PSC, disc golf, bark eater, everything.
I'm not going to send it to the coach.
No, but they might find the podcast, like everything I'm talking about. Okay.
My daughter loves training.
She does love training. I see her every morning when I'm driving to work. She's like running on Richmond Road.
Exactly. But hey, she's going to on-ice training, right?
Good.
And but the coach is getting, goalie coach is getting a little pissed off.
Yeah.
Because she's getting tired. And it's only a half hour.
You know what? They're still coming off the psychological damage of the last 2 years. Yeah. I think when this summer hits, we're going to see them really get back to their normal, lazy YouTube selves.
Yeah, well, she said she's going to quit her job. She's not going to have an excuse now not to train, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder if Swiss Chalet would hire my son.
Ollies?
To be do they hire busboys? Like, do the waitresses do all their own stuff there?
To be honest.
Oh, what's your daughter do?
She does like takeout.
Oh, right. She's not an actual server, really. Oh, okay. I digress.
You might, maybe dishwashing.
Yeah. You see, I don't think we want him in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's probably.
You ever been in a kitchen at one of those places? The style of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Positive or negative for like a 15-year-old? The stories that must be
I'm going to say negative.
I'm going to say negative too. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, it depends. It
depends. The good listener can correct it. It's life experience. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather see him out and about picking up dishes and.
Yeah, I mean that could be part of it.
Yeah. Ah, well.
I'll ask my daughter.
Okay. So anywho, back to the big adventure there. So Paul Smith's was stop one, great disc golf course. Then we hit a lovely campground, which should benefit you.
Yes.
For our proposed August trip down there to drop your daughter off and stuff. Yeah. Because our first thought was, hotel, whatever, but ridiculously expensive. And you have to book and reserve and all this crap. So the spot we found, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Because we're looking at a Thursday night in August compared to a Friday night in late June. And we had lots of options. Yeah. Anyways, nice spot. So that's cool. Good. Then we got up early Saturday morning and tried to tackle a mountain called Gothics. Gothics. Doesn't that just sound scary?
Batman?
Yeah, it sounds scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was scary.
Well, it was scary, but we didn't actually even climb it. Like we changed mid-course to kind of do a loop because the boys were shell-shocked. Like once you see the elevation profile, we climbed after hiking and climbing for, let's say, 4 hours. You then notice, like we're hiking, average hike, you're coming around bands, trees, whatever, and then there's a bit of an opening, and the trail, you're looking at rocks, and you have to raise your eyesight about 45 degrees to see the next, where the trail's going.
Oh, God.
There was this section of trail.
Yeah.
It was one of the harder sections I've ever done. It was probably, 200-300 meters in length at a 50-degree angle.
Oh.
And our buddy James just takes off like he always does, like Spider-Man trying to go up this thing, and he couldn't.
Oh.
He's going right up the rock and the steps and the stones and that, and couldn't do it.
Oh.
Like literally kept slipping down.
Right.
So I took a different route. I'm like, guys, James, if you could slow down and read the trail a bit, it would be helpful, first of all, so we're not all blindly following you. So I cut across, a little bit of a gamble. You have to imagine like a rock face, like 3 meters wide, like this layout here, but like that.
Right.
Kind of had to like skip across to the other side, and then there were trees everywhere.
Oh.
So you're like grabbing little trees to go up the hill.
Oh, jeez.
It was crazy.
Jeez.
And when we got to the top of that and looked down, we're like, F this. Like, we're not, I can't honestly see us going down this way.
Yeah, how'd you get back down?
Well, because, generally speaking...
You were stuck at the top of the
mountain.
mountain.
Like, everybody's done some sort of hike, right? And if you go up a hill, usually you want the easy part coming back down, and it should be way faster.
Yeah.
That would have taken us forever.
Yeah.
Like, if it took us an hour to climb up that section, I swear it would have taken an hour to come down.
Yeah.
So we got to the top, we found a spot for lunch, and we got the map out, and we said, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to do a big old loop, and it'll be a little bit of road walking at the end, but that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that went well. Oh, a couple of guests.
I guess we scared them off in the podcast.
We scared them off. Someone's got a sweaty back.
We can interview.
Sorry, we're talking like it's yeah, we're talking like it's a video podcast.
Yeah.
Just had a couple of people walk into our gazebo and then leave.
Yeah, saw that we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
We could have been. It could have been our first guest.
We should have said, "Hey guys,
Come on, sit down.
yeah, that's true." Eh?
Yeah. Oh well.
Apologies to Mr. Hollywood
Oh.
because he was our first guest.
Oh yes.
Yeah, right.
Sorry about that.
Our first random
I
guest.
apologize for that.
So anywho,
Yeah.
we get up there. We have our lunch. We decide. You know what? The goal was practice, workout. See some new stuff. So to continue on our trail, at that point, after the super climb, we probably would have needed another 2 or 3 hours to get to Gothics, where apparently there was another section like that, but even harder because they installed some sort of cable you could kind of hold and climb up with.
Right.
And we met some other hikers that said they were also going to Gothics, and then they were nervous because it seemed like they thought we were going to take their campsite, and we're like, oh no. Said, no, we're going to go back. And then they gave us the old jaw drop. You mean you're going to hike to Gothics and go back? And we're like, well, that's the plan. They're like, huh,
Good luck.
okay.
With that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So we double checked the math, and yeah, we probably would have made it up to Gothics at like 6 o'clock at night and then needed 5 hours to come back, which would have been like a 14. Yeah, so no.
Yeah.
Did a nice loop, got back to the truck, had a couple of Bud Light limes, and hit the road basically. Yeah. Great day though.
Yeah,
great
it
day.
sounds like it.
But exhausting.
Yeah.
And my knees were sore,
I guess.
and I've done a lot of hiking, and I tell you, like, that's not something we should be doing too much of because
Right.
the body hurts after that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to know about James though. What's going on with him?
He's a character, right?
Like Spider-Man going up. Shitty
That's
at
the other JB.
terrible at disc
That's
golf.
the other JB.
Yeah.
Terrible at disc golf.
Like Spider-Man going up the mountain.
Oh, God.
Terrible at disc golf. Yeah.
James, so the hike was 21 kilometers.
Yeah.
James probably hiked 31 kilometers. You know why?
Why?
Because anytime there was a stop, he couldn't stop.
Oh.
He's got ADHD.
Yeah.
He would walk. Imagine we all stop and eat or something. He would walk ahead and just go and come back and say, "Oh yeah, boys, the trail's doing this. Thanks, James." Like he'd go back and forth. Or if one guy was far up and two guys were back, he'd walk back and forth between us.
That's funny.
Like, and
Just
the
can't sit
guy,
still.
and he can't sit still.
Yeah.
And him and Keith both did not eat a lot or drink a lot. Like, I don't know. I'm a little worried about Keith in
Yeah.
Puckasaw. He's
Yeah.
got to eat more and he's got to drink more.
Yeah. Needs that energy.
I drank 5 liters of water
Wow.
over the first 6 hours. And then I didn't drink at that very end. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think I peed once. The rest was sweat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Came
ever
out in
you ever
sweat.
do? Maybe you're not the right guy to ask. You don't sweat.
I do
You don't
sweat.
exercise.
I don't exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. I sweat, but I don't
It was
exercise.
one of those sweat days where, like, at the end, you're like,
I'm sweating right now.
right,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah.
I'm wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Like, it was one of those days when you could, like, almost feel the salt on your skin
Yeah.
after sweating. It was awful.
Yeah.
Felt great again after, but
Yeah.
I don't think that level of exertion is sustainable. So
Not
the
if you're
void,
not hydrating and
no.
shit.
So the cool thing about Puckasaw, I can't believe the forecast up there. So we're going to Puckasaw, which is on Lake Superior.
Yeah.
July. We're going to be starting the trail on July 3rd for 9 days. Okay. What do you think the daily highs and daily lows are for that time?
Is he going to be like in the 30s?
No.
Oh, it's going to be cool.
It is going to be highs of 9 or 10.
Oh, wow.
And lows of, get this, 9 or 10. It's like
Oh,
your
so it's
total.
not gonna change.
It's not going to change. So I'm guessing low wind, which is also nice.
Yeah.
And just,
Well, that's perfect hiking.
it's
weather.
friggin' perfect. Like, because when we went last year, actually the 2 times I've been up there, plus a third time just with my family, it was like a normal summer,
Yeah.
but a bit cooler, but it was still 20 some degrees.
That's got to be strange.
Well, I
It's
think
gonna be
it's
9-10 degrees.
I think it's
Climate change.
no, exactly. How do I say this? It's always cooler up there, but it's not uncommon to get a few warm days.
Right.
But I think the average was probably 15, so I think we're lucking out. I don't mind cooler at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Because I don't think we'll sweat like crazy, and it'll be good for Keith, who's a camel. Doesn't seem to drink at all.
Yeah.
And anyways, I think it's going to be good. Looked like a little bit of rain too, but whatever. I'll take 10 degrees.
Yeah.
And then at night, though, it's odd, right? Like, you'd think your nighttime would be cooler, but it's almost like 10 degrees the whole time. So anyways, that'll be fun. That'll be neat.
That's just next week.
Yeah, I can't believe
coming
it.
up.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I have to finalize all that junk and be ready to go.
And then you're coming back, and you have to do all your arrive can through coming back from the States.
You did want us to talk about that.
Well, if you wanted to.
No, it's funny.
I don't have my glasses. I can't tell how much time we're in. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the border.
We'll talk about that. That'll be the final.
Okay, so the border crossings were interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Heading down, the U.S. guy was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they were both awesome. Let's just say that. But awesome for different reasons. The U.S. guy was hilarious. So if anyone's ever crossed at a land crossing, like the average border guard is not into jokes of any kind.
Yeah.
Right? You don't joke with these guys.
No.
It gets so serious.
Oh, I know. I've done it once. Yeah.
You tried to joke. Didn't work.
No, the guy was so crusty you couldn't even joke.
You couldn't joke.
Yeah, like he was just...
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is a few years ago. We were going down to Philadelphia to do some filming.
Okay, right.
And, of course, we have all this gear. So I have a carnet package called a carnet. So you just got to declare all your equipment so you don't get taxed on it coming back.
Oh, God.
As if you bought it there.
Right.
So anyway, I had to declare that going down and then coming back. But the U.S. border guy, like they send me, we were in the main thing and I go, I got this thing. And they're like, you got to go over to this place here where the shipping trucking guy is.
Yeah.
Of course, he's crusty as all hell. And he's like, okay, just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
You know? And I was just like, I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
But it sucked. Delay. You're not trying to scam.
The other time was when I totally pissed off a CBP lady in New York, LaGuardia.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Save
was
that
bad.
for the next podcast.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Okay. Well, this guy, anyways, and by the way, super quiet. We pulled up both, no problem. So I think this guy might have just been bored and ready to talk to people, right? Hey, guys. Hey. Give them the passports. Where are you going? Lake Placid. Oh, big golf weekend? No, we're going hiking. Hiking? Where are you hiking? Like, he seemed legitimately curious.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm getting the vaccinations ready, right? He's like, you don't need to give me those. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, nah. He goes, you're vaccinated, aren't you? We're like, yeah. Well, that's all I need. Yeah, so pretty easy going there.
Yeah.
And then I think I said something like, no, we wrapped everything up, actually. He was like, great, have a good trip and that. And I think he saw me, like he hesitated because I was like, I had mentioned the app going back to one of the guys. He's like, oh, the app. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, an app to go into your country. I think he called it a MIC app.
MIC app.
Didn't even make sense. MIC app. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, he kind of does a little thing on it. I'm like, well, it's funny. We all kind of all feel the same way. Yeah. But it was neat to see how laid back, easygoing, friendly. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So then coming back.
Mosquito on your neck.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Same sort of deal. Had a great border guy, right?
Yeah.
We do the Arrive Canada app, which by law is still required for anyone entering Canada.
Yeah.
Period. Anyone entering Canada.
Yeah.
So, do you know how many Americans are probably not coming because of this? Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
Like,
there goes the tourism.
They're just, they don't care. Like, they're not going to do it.
No. Exactly.
So, here's our own businesses missing out on this, right?
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I do all the app Thursday morning with Pierre, set them up.
Yeah.
Teach them how to do it. Teach them all how to do it. You go on, you upload your passport, your vaccinations, and you attest to not having COVID, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then you print off a receipt and you're done. Okay? Did that. Pierre did that, all set. So I had my receipt, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to help my old man.
Yeah.
So my old man's down in Ohio, taking money from the Amish for his old tractor seats that they're actually going to use probably.
Right,
It's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
So he makes some great money going down there. My dad's 80.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I set him up on my app, which I heard you could do, right?
Yeah.
Him and his buddy Peter. Weeks ago I got their passports, their vaccinations. I'm doing the whole damn. They're all set up. So I go on Friday morning at 7 a.m. I hammer out their Arrive Canada receipts, print it off, call the hotel in Amishville, Ohio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hello. I said, I need you to actually check your email. I'm printing something off so my dad and his buddy can cross the border. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So she finds it. She's like, what the hell is this? I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me.
What is that? Yeah.
Because it's interesting to share with people how our government works.
Yeah.
I explain it all to her, and she's baffled by it. I'm like, well, anyways, thank you so much for getting it to him, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's all set.
Yeah.
But to do that, I had to hit the delete button on mine
Yeah.
because you can't have 2 active trips at the same time,
Right.
which blew my mind. But I thought, well, whatever. I've got my paper receipt. I'm totally good.
Yeah.
So I delete mine, do theirs, set. But then it's lingering in my mind the whole time down there, right? And on our trip. So we roll back up to the border. Hey, guys, welcome back. Again, great border guy.
Yeah.
Give them the passports. Click, 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 click. All the obvious questions, anything to declare, any beer or alcohol. Yeah, we got 5 Bud Lights. And he's like, Bud Lights? Kind of giggles. And he lets us out. Like, whereas you're not allowed, technically.
Yeah.
Like, you can't bring back alcohol unless
Right.
you're there for 48 hours.
Okay.
So he's cool with that, which
Okay.
tells me he's a great guy, right?
Yeah.
I would have just gave them to him if I wasn't allowed. And then he's like, Clint? I'm like, yeah, I know it's coming, right? Did you do the Arrive Canada app? Yes, I did. Did you have your receipt or anything? Because at this point, he's thinking there's just a weird error.
Yeah.
I give it to him. He punches it in. Oh, shows you deleted it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I did because I had to complete 1-4, and he's like, let me guess, Peter and Gary. Yeah. He goes, they're crossing from Detroit tomorrow. I'm like, yes. Okay. He's like, I see what you did. I will exempt you once.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, thank God.
Yeah.
So the worst has been avoided.
Yeah.
And but then he's great to say, you know what, like again, sometimes we're hard on our border guards and our security people. Here's a guy that's a regular dude.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what, you just have to create a second account, which I didn't realize you could do. So I could actually put my father's, because the Arrive Canada app I have right now is my account, and I can add people to it.
Okay.
But I'm the only one allowed to be traveling at once, or if I'm not traveling, then they can. Anyways,
Okay.
you can't have 2 different groups crossing 2 different borders within the same 3 days.
Right.
That's what I learned.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think we're set for the future. But
You're gonna have to show me all that stuff.
Oh, what a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So potentially for the trip in August, you would need your own setup.
Well, I need that I got to go down in July.
However, your daughter should have her own as well. Yeah. We'll set her up. We'll set you up.
Yeah.
And but you know what? My dad's 80. I'm not like, he can't. Yeah. He could if he really wanted to, but God, he could care less about that.
Yeah.
He was at the point where he said, I don't care. I'm going. I'll come back. Well, I'm like, at least let me do this. Yeah. So the guy in Prescott was fantastic. I said, so they're going to be good, right? He's like, yeah, they're fine. They won't even notice. Yeah. So great. But I'll never forget him looking, and he looks right. Clint? Yeah, it's me.
You know it's coming.
Guilty.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming, but I have everything rationalized, at least in my mind. And at least I had that receipt, which I think was good. Yeah. Because then he could find that I did actually do it. Yeah. But he was about come on, let the app. Why couldn't I just do that on the same thing,
so
right?
Stupid.
Anyway,
but what's the penalty?
So I don't know exactly what the penalty is, but I've heard crazy stories. Yeah. I've heard about people, but see what happens is the oh, sorry, dude.
Change the mic position.
The cavalier traveler is going to get nailed. Yeah. I've heard about people just thinking they're above the law, crossing from, it's always in Southern Ontario, people crossing at Niagara Falls to go shopping and coming back and saying, oh, I just went over for 3 hours. I'm not doing that. Oh, yeah? Well, here you go. Here's $1,000 fine, and you're quarantining for a month.
Yeah. I think they changed the rules a little bit. I think you still have to quarantine for 14 days. So
if you don't comply with that law.
Right. So, for example, my son, he's not, Yeah. So, coming back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He might have to quarantine for 14 days.
You got to be kidding me.
But I don't even know if we can get in this thing. This is going to be an issue. Probably.
So, the funny thing is I told you how disconcerted he seemed about vaccinations when I went down. But technically, you've got to be. For I'm almost certain any international travel requires vaccination. Yeah, so even into the States. The fact is I'm
going to have to look into it.
It's almost like I'm not saying this is what you do, but if you were to travel as an unvaccinated traveler to the States,
you might need a test.
Well, no, this is what I'd say. Like, you'd have your passport, and then he's going to ask you if you're vaccinated. Again, you shouldn't lie, I guess.
Yeah.
That basically all they want to know is that you are.
Yeah.
But the right person could definitely inquire for proof.
Yes.
Yeah. So that
I'm gonna have to look into this.
That's tricky. Yeah. But I mean, what I find is anyone that's still unvaccinated at this point, they're likely not world travelers, anyways.
I mean, he's not a world traveler.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to consider that if he wants to. Yeah. Because it is technically still a requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it.
Although within Canada, it's not. Like, you can definitely, I think, hop on a plane now in Canada.
Now you can, yes.
Whatever, right?
Before you weren't able to.
Before you definitely could
Yeah.
not. All right, dude. So where's this put us?
I can't see it, but I think we're at 60.
Oh, that's wonderful. I could bitch about my Freedom Mobile bill, but I won't.
Yeah.
We could save that.
Yeah. Why don't we wrap her?
Let's wrap it up. This is beautiful, though. I might just sit here for another hour.
Yeah. I got to go pick up some cookies.
Cookies?
At Simply Biscotti. I'm going to put that out there for the graduation. We bought some grad cookies.
Okay. Yeah. You guys got something planned? Big party after grad?
Yeah. My mother-in-law's coming down and stuff.
From Sudbury?
Yeah.
Lovely.
So we're going to have a little bit of a dinner, I guess.
Couple days. She's driving herself now, too.
Driving herself.
Nice. Will
Down.
she bring the food or just cook?
Oh, she'll probably bring some stuff, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, she usually does.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, let's
let's say we're not sure when the next cast.
The summer hiatus has not been determined yet.
Yeah.
So feel free to keep tuning in on weekends. You never know.
I know you'll be away, but
I will be away.
Possible JB and I could.
I'm hoping the boys continue.
Pick up a slack. I know we took a break last year, so maybe we'll do that.
Here's a plan. Here's a possibility.
Specials.
Yeah, you guys do a little something when I'm gone. When I come back, we have a post Pakasaw podcast.
Yeah.
As to our success or lack of on the third attempt.
Exactly.
And then that's going to be mid-July by that point.
Yeah.
And then maybe who the heck knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're warning the Podbeanskis.
We're warning them. Yeah. Could be, couldn't be, we don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is pretty much the case every week.
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
When you think
very
true.
But
at some point, we're going to stop having to call them season 3, right? Or is this season 2?
This is season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah, we'll be going into
feels
season
like
3.
It's been so many, it feels like season 2.
So we got to figure out, because what we want to do for
chop
season
it?
3.
There we go. A new theme, a new approach.
New approach, new theme, exactly.
Well, this will be good for you to know that we can do it outside at a place like this.
Yeah, well, it's just when the winter comes.
This could be the studio right here. Yeah. The gazebo studio on the...
Yeah, it could be.
On the Sarsaparilla Trail, and all the locals could just show up. Yeah. We could have a live audience, for heaven's sakes.
Could.
Hey?
That would be good.
We could aim for...
Well, they walked away. They could.
No, but I mean people that actually listen.
Yeah,
if they knew we were live at 9 a.m. on Sundays, boom, they could come and hang out.
That's right.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
That would.
Folks, that's Cop Car Coffee. I'm serious. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Hey, have a few people sitting over there.
Exactly.
Oh.
Get your buddies out.
Yeah, all 3 of them. The listenership is increasing, though.
Is it?
It really is, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're probably up to 40 now.
Oh, wow.